My name is Austin Stevens. I've spent over 20 years photographing the world's most dangerous animals. Now I face quite literally my biggest challenge yet.
I've got rhinos all around me.
Africa, as it once was and still is in some places. This is the home of the Big Five. Early hunters named the Big Five as the most dangerous animals to approach on foot, even with a gun. Lions, leopard, buffalo, rhino, and elephant. 4 of those Big Five live right down here. The member of the Big Five that I'm searching for could bite off a man's fingers with no effort at all. But it's not a lion. This animal can run faster than an Olympic sprinter, but it's not a leopard. It's the rhino.
The white rhino is one of the planet's giants. Over 2 tons of armor-plated bone and muscle. It's heavier than a large car. Its name refers not to its color. It comes from the Afrikaans word for wide, because of its lawnmower of a mouth. The black rhino is its turbocharged cousin, easily distinguished by the hooked upper lip which it uses to grasp its food. It's rarer, more elusive, and more dangerous. Both are surprisingly quick and can be extremely aggressive. It's the first time I've taken on this freight train of an animal.
My assignment is to get pictures of rhino, but not just any long-range shots. I'm going to go in on foot, get low down and close up. I want to fill my frame with rhino.
But finding a rhino, even in Africa, can be a tricky business.
To get the pictures I'm looking for, all my research points to one place. And I've traveled 2,000 kilometers from my home in Swakopmund, Namibia, across southern Africa to get to the little country known as the Kingdom of Swaziland.
Swaziland is Africa's last traditional monarchy. It's a largely mountainous country, almost completely surrounded by South Africa. And it's tiny, just over 160 kilometers at its widest point. I'm heading for the eastern lowlands, to Makaya, the place for rhinos in Swaziland. It's one of the few places in Africa where I can find and photograph both species.
I've especially come in the winter months when it's drier and cooler. You've got a much better chance of seeing the rhinos in the day. There's been a lot of unusual weather. I'm a bit worried about the rain. Hey. Just hang on. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I've always wanted to photograph one of these. This is a banded Egyptian cobra, which is now called a snouted cobra. Look at those colors, look at those bands, they're fantastic. I've got to get a shot of this guy. At the same time, I've got to be very careful because he's highly, highly venomous. Are you there, boy? Look at that hood, isn't he gorgeous? Whoa. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah, now he's realized. These guys have got a neurotoxic venom. It's very potent. 1 drop would be enough to kill you. You've got tiny little fangs right in the front of the mouth and they bite pretty fast. Come on, just for a minute. There we go. Take it, look at that. Is that gorgeous or what? He's gonna suddenly turn on me, I know that. I know that. That's fantastic, come on. There we go, look at me. That's the shot. Wow. I mean, I'm actually looking for rhinos, I wouldn't normally stop. But a snake like this is phenomenal. That's a picture. That's a picture. Wow. Look at that. He's clever, he doesn't keep still for 1 minute. There we go. That's it. Oh, yes, now we got attitude. That's angry cobra. Okay, here we go. And when he's like that, that's when you can actually get his attention. Can you see my hand? Watch, he's watching my hand. But I want him to watch the camera, and I want to touch him behind the head. Just like that. Shouldn't do that when you're so many miles out in the bush. Okay, I want to pick him up and show him that he can go on his way, and that'll be fine. Oh, no. Don't try and bite me. That's a good boy. I'm going to let him go. Right over here, where I found him. And he can be on his way again. Off you go. There we go. I got so excited about that. I even forgot about my tongs, and I think my sunglasses are lying here somewhere.
I'm used to snakes, even the dangerous ones. I've spent my whole life working with them. But rhinos are something else. If you don't believe the textbooks, ask the locals. They'll all tell you the same thing.
Morning. Have you got petrol here?
Yes.
Please, can I fill it up?
Yes.
Yeah, I can pump as well. Yeah, sure. I've come to look for rhino here.
Rhinos are notoriously unpredictable. And if they feel threatened, they will attack. And you can't rely on your vehicle providing too much protection.
What actually happened over here?
This incident caused by a rhino.
Really?
Really?
The rhino pushed a hole through there?
Yes.
Wow. Can you believe what this guy's just told me? Just hold it there a second. Look at this. Land Rover body. Rhino hit it, went right through, ripped the whole thing to pieces, bent this over, buckled it completely. These are powerful animals I'm looking for.
Just imagine the sheer brute force of an animal capable of doing that. But all the big five are dangerous. And all of them, apart from lions, are right here in Makaya.
My first encounter with the big five. And this is the biggest of them all, the elephants. It looks like I'm just in time because they're already leaving. It looks like they've been drinking, splashing around. You can see how wet the side is. And now they're getting ready to throw a bit of mud and dust on themselves and probably go off into the bush. Even elephants, as big as they are, disappear just like that into the bush. You can't believe it. Oh, that's really good luck, man. First to the big five.
And too good an opportunity to miss. I'm going to try and get in front of them for a picture. But the elephants don't seem so keen on the idea. Those flared ears are an unmistakable sign of aggression. What worries me about rhinos is that they don't give a warning like that. The stakes are high. I'm going to have to learn fast. I'm in Makaya, Swaziland. Classic lowland savanna studded with thorny scrub. Perfect habitat for one of the most dangerous animals on the continent. The rhino.
Well, looking for big game from the inside of a car is the safest way to do it. And it's for tourists. But for me, I have to get out, I have to get low, I have to get really close because I need specific pictures. So I'm going to do this on foot. Don't try this at home.
I've spotted a dry riverbed. When you're looking for animals that are hard to find, you need a place where they can't avoid leaving tracks.
Just get a look at this. Rhino prints. And look at this here, a perfect print in the sand. Look at that. You can always identify them. They look like a 3-leaf clover. Look at that. And you see how enormous this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times the size of my hand. Isn't that incredible? And it seems to have walked right across here, straight across the riverbed. And I suspect this might not even be an adult. Yeah, I mean, this is an animal that gets up to 2 tons or more. And considering how big these animals get, it makes you wonder if I'm doing the right thing actually walking after them in the bush. But that's exactly what I've got to do. And I want to get really close for some really good photographs.
The black rhino is the most aggressive of the two species, while the white rhino is by far the biggest. But both of them have a nasty habit of suddenly materializing out of the undergrowth.
Definitely something here. I can hear it, but I can't quite see anything. I'm seeing my first rhino, but incredibly, it's a female with a baby. It's an enormous animal, that tiny little baby. And because she's got that baby, she's gonna be skittish and nervous. I've got to be real careful. I've got to get a better look. That baby is so small, I reckon it's only a couple of weeks old. That's gonna make the mother even more protective. She's enormous, she's got a massive horn. If I could get a picture of that baby, that would be fantastic.
No one knows quite how good a rhino's eyesight really is, but they definitely have excellent hearing and a powerful sense of smell. Luckily, I'm downwind, but I need to try and get my camera out without making a sound.
She's starting to huff and puff a little bit. I think she's a little bit restless. But I'm so excited. This is the youngest baby I've ever seen in my life. She's keeping it well hidden. See how the baby's constantly hidden behind her body. She's still keeping the calf well hidden. He's right there, just behind her front legs. He's moving. There's movement on the right. There's another animal here. There's a third rhino. They're so incredibly camouflaged. In spite of their size, they just materialize out of the bush. It's incredible. They're a little bit nervous now with this other one close by. He's coming closer all the time. I mean, he's probably just a couple of years old, but he's pretty big, I'll tell you.
This newcomer is a juvenile. It might be the mother's previous offspring. When rhinos have a new baby, the bond between the mother and the older calf often breaks down. The calf will try to stay part of the family, but the mother keeps chasing him away.
Look at that, what a bit of luck. The tiny one's right in front looking at me.
The mother can only hide the baby from one of us, and she's decided the calf poses the bigger threat. This could turn nasty.
This one's coming closer, so I'm going to start backing out.
If this kicks off, then I don't want to be anywhere near.
How was that for a first encounter? A mother with 2 calves. That's incredible. And the one is so young, 2 or 3 weeks, no more than that. I didn't want to go too close. She's very nervous now at open ground. But if I get another chance, I'm going to try and get even closer.
The question is, if it can get that edgy with white rhinos, how on earth am I going to get my black rhino shots? There's only one way to find out. Get face to face with one. So first thing tomorrow, I'll start planning how to do just that. I'm in Swaziland, a country teeming with wildlife. I'm trying to get close to a rhino, but I've got to deal with another, smaller animal first.
Come on. It's vervet monkeys. Come on, go away. They're around you all the time. They're watching. They're looking for food, and if there's anything, if you leave anything at all, they'll grab and run off with it. Go on, keep going.
Despite the interruptions, I've come up with a plan. Rather than relying on luck to spot one of these secretive creatures, I'm going to try and pinpoint the sort of place the black rhinos would love. And I've worked out a good way to do it. Slaughtered for their meat, butchered for their horns, and shot for trophies, rhinos have been taken to the very brink of extinction, right across Africa. These anti-poaching towers offer me the perfect lookout across prime rhino country.
Spotted this tower and I thought it's worth climbing up. I mean, I'm looking for rhino, and especially black rhino, if I'm lucky, will be found in dense bush like this. And I can't see 2 feet in front of me. This tower gives me a view of everywhere.
I'll never see a rhino from up here. But if I can pinpoint the right sort of habitat, then that's where one might be. I have spotted one site that looks like it might be promising. It's too far to go on foot, but it's going to be a tough drive.
The roads are really getting bad. There's been some rain, so there's a lot of mud and there's a lot of deep ruts. Very difficult to get the vehicle through. And more water ahead. The road's almost disappearing and it's going into the riverbed. See how it goes. The sand's deep, it's wet. And there's rocks all times. Holy mackerel.
It's been worth the trouble. This is perfect black rhino habitat. Black rhinos like to bury themselves in the deepest, densest areas. So this is as far as I go by car. They don't just use these thorny trees for protection. They are also their most favorite thing to eat.
Just look at this. This is a young tambuti tree that's been pushed over, and it's been pushed over by a black rhino. This is typical black rhino behavior. Puts his legs right over the tree and just walks forward, pushes it down to the ground, because he wants to get to the soft succulent twigs and leaves right at the top. And you can see, yeah, this is old, it's been done a while ago, but their teeth are so powerful, it's chopped them clean off, right off like that, no problem at all. And in fact, the tree, the bark and the leaves are actually poisonous, but doesn't worry a black rhino.
Those bite marks may be old, but I'm definitely in the right sort of area.
I can hear something. Sounds like something big, moving, but I can't see it. I mean, I'm right in rhino territory. It could well be a rhino. Oh, I can see him. I can see him. It's a rhino. I can just see the horn sticking out. Massive black body behind. I don't see. Oh, I can see the mouth. Yeah, he's feeding high up. It's a black rhino. He's got that prehensile lip, feeding on bark high up in the tree, not like the others grazing down. Might get some shots.
It's said that you should always keep a barrier between yourself and a rhino, but I'm not so sure these thorn bushes would even slow him down. Before I can get a clear shot, he bolts. These are very skittish animals, and he's far too fast to follow. Besides, the bush is tangled, and it's getting much too late in the day to be out here in the open. I need to get back to my camp. But it's not just the rhino's nervous disposition that worries me.
The thing that gets me about rhinos is the sheer size and power of the animals. I mean, look at this. This is a portion of a rhino's skull. I mean, this is without the bottom jaw. And this is broken in half. So I'm actually looking at a quarter of the rhino's size. Just look at the size of those teeth. And just imagine this with two gigantic horns on you. And follow that up with about 2 tons of body, maybe coming straight at you at 20 miles per hour. And all of it driven by just this. That cavity there, the brain cavity, no bigger than my fist. So it's no wonder when you speak to people and you ask for advice about being in the close proximity of rhinos, they say the same thing every time: get the heck out the way.
Unfortunately, to get the photos I've been asked for, I'm going to have to do exactly the opposite. My first encounter with a black rhino was disappointing, but it could have been deadly. These guys are aggressive, and they've got the weaponry to make it count. Powerful horns that grow 8 centimeters a year.
Just look at that. That's roughly the size of a black rhino horn. It's enormous. You know, the white rhino horns can get even bigger than that. And imagine 2 tons of animal behind this, and that's what I'm trying to get close to. Certainly wouldn't like to get in the way of this, but I have got an idea. The whole idea is to get as close to these rhinos as possible without getting killed. I've got this monopod, attach it to my camera. The camera on, I've got this control. This is an infrared control. That's working. Just imagine that's a rhino coming straight at me. But I'm not on the ground. I'm up in a tree. It's my extended monopod, upside down. So I can hang, suspend it down, the infrared, get a shot of him. Click, just like that. And I'm safe up the tree. Camera automatically turns the picture around, and it's got a perfect rhino horn.
So, armed with my monopod and a new plan, I'm ready for another go. I'm heading back to the site of yesterday's encounter because black rhino males are territorial. He could easily still be around. But he's not the only dangerous animal lurking amongst the thorns.
The twig snake is a fast-moving snake, and he's perfectly designed to disappear in a bush. Look at that. He keeps dead still. He knows his body is perfectly camouflaged to look just like a twig. That's where he gets his name, twig snake. What they do is they lie dead still on a branch like this, and they flicker their tongues, and they attract the attention of sometimes lizards, sometimes birds. Then he'll strike and grab it. But right now, he's using it as camouflage to get away from me. He should be running for it. Any other snake will be running for it, but he's not. He's hoping that I don't see him because he's so perfectly camouflaged. Watch him move. See that? If these snakes get excited, if they get a bit upset and they have to defend themselves, they puff up their necks and they strike out. Watch him go. Whoops. Coming towards. And he can move amongst these thorns with no effort at all, and I can't get to him. I'd love to get hold of him so I could just have a good look at him. I want to get him down a little bit. I didn't get bitten. You don't get bitten by this snake. There's no serum for the bite of the snake. There's no serum, and the venom is highly toxic. Take a couple of days to actually kill you. You don't die very quickly. It's not a pretty way to go. I want to get hold of him. Oh, whoa, that's close. That's much too close. I want to get his tail, because if I can pull his tail out, I can work with him a bit. Can't get close to him. I'm gonna get, there he comes, there he comes, there he comes. There you go, watch him go. Watch out, quickly he moves. Aren't they fantastic? They're marvelous to watch. It's fantastic to watch how he moves. Come on, I want you down. I want to talk to you. I want to have a good look at him. Be careful not to get bitten. I want to bring him close. Come on now, little boy. This is about as big as they get too. They can get a little bit bigger, but whoa, there we go. I've got him. At last, I've got him. There we go. Look at that. Isn't he gorgeous? I've got him by the tail, so he's pulling through the tongs there, and he can't actually get away. So he's just threatening me. Oh, be careful. Don't get bitten by a snake like this. I must be careful. Look at the colors now. When he expands his throat, you can see all the grays and the blues and the greens. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's absolutely beautiful. What a beautiful snake. Man, I can't get to my camera because I'm going to let him go and he's going to be gone like a shot. So I'm just going to release him again. It's a beautiful encounter. Beautiful coming into contact with one of these. I actually haven't seen one for years. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. He's gorgeous. Okay. Put him on, yeah, off you go again. You want to go, yeah? Back up into the tree. There we go. Go on, I'm finished with you now. You can go. Okay, he's entangled around my tongs. The tail is so prehensile. There we go. There we go. He can suspend himself anywhere, and off he goes. Off you go. Look at that, like greased lightning, man. Smooth as anything. Fantastic.
Unlike twig snakes that will happily stay around a small group of trees, black rhinos must patrol vast areas to find enough food to fill their massive bulk. They eat at least 40 kilos of tiny leaves and bark each day, which means if there are rhinos here, I should be able to see some results of all that eating.
Just look at this. This is what I've been hoping to find. This is black rhino dung, no question about it. You scratch around in it, you find twigs, always little bits of chewed off twigs, definitely black rhino. The way this dung's been scattered over here, it looks like this is a territorial male. He's scraped his legs there. He's been digging around with his back legs inside the dung, getting the scent on his feet before he goes off and marks his territory as far as he goes. I'm right in the middle of black rhino territory.
These deposits signal the boundary of a male's terrain, and they're a warning sign. Territorial males are known to attack anything that intrudes on their turf.
Definitely something moving up ahead. Definitely. I can definitely see him quite clearly. Black rhino right here.
Time for my monopod plan.
This might be my chance.
There is one sturdy-looking tree, but it's a bit further away than I'd like.
If I can get to the tree, I may just be able to get my shot. My close-up black rhino shot.
Once I'm safely out of reach, I'll try and attract the rhino's attention.
I've got to be very careful. I don't want him to get excited and see me before I get to the tree. That would be a problem.
But before I can put my plan into action, he's gone.
What do you think of that? Black rhino. Typical attitude. The second it spotted me, it started coming. No time for anything. He's right up here. As soon as up here, the first time I took a picture, the first picture, he was onto me, spotted me straight away and came straight for the tree. Hey, I tell you, he's got a horn like that. Nerve-wracking stuff.
I'm not pushing it any further. Next time, I might not be so lucky. Not many people have been charged by a black rhino and lived to tell the tale. After a close encounter with a black rhino, I've decided that it's better to concentrate on white rhinos. Better for my health anyway. But the plan of finding a good location first and the animal second has given me another idea. There are places where, if I'm lucky, I might find white rhinos gathering together. This lake is too deep, but the nearby marsh should be perfect for rhinos.
Just taking some pictures of the hippos when I noticed this. It's the most fantastic example of a rhino rubbing post. This was just a tree broken off. Imagine the sharp edges, pointy bits. Rhino comes along, starts rubbing himself against it. This happens day after day, year after year, until this time it's completely polished smooth, as if it's been polished with an electric sander. Right at this moment, it makes a perfect resting place for my camera to get a few more shots of these hippos. Just come out that bush and walk straight into a group of rhinos here at what looks like a watering hole. obviously know I'm here, but they're not showing any signs yet. I'm gonna get as close as I can, have a look. Here I go. That guy's getting excited. If I can just get over there, I'm gonna duck down so they don't see me as clearly. Might be my chance to get a couple of shots. Just don't want to get them excited. I've got nowhere to go.
Approaching quietly from downwind, I do my best to keep some vegetation between me and the rhinos. The wallow stretches way back, and it's absolutely packed with white rhinos of all shapes and sizes. It's like a prehistoric beauty parlor. Work the mud on, then scrape it all off again. And they're lining up to take it in turns. The question is, how close can I get?
There's a mother and calf yonder in the open. I'd like to try and get a bit closer. I don't want to spook them.
They're nervous, but I've got to push a little to get my shot. The greatest danger is to rattle the calf. If the calf gets a fright, then the mother gets excited. I just need to maneuver myself round in front. A plan that didn't work out so well with the elephants. I'm now so close, I can see each of the blood-sucking flies that are attacking the rhino's hide. I can't afford one wrong move. This is a situation that can change in an instant.
This rhino keeps coming closer all the time. It keeps coming closer.
I need to be alert for the slightest sign of aggression. A snort, cocked ears, or even a raised tail.
Better to move back, better to move back. She's coming.
In Swaziland, Africa, I found a secret gathering of white rhinos, some of the most powerful on the planet. I can see at least a dozen of them, ranging from a couple of years old to full-grown adults. This is my best chance yet to get low-angle, close-up shots of rhinos in action.
She's rubbing his neck. That's a very convenient log there. Watch him put his foot over. Anything that's available becomes a rubbing post. That's a fallen log and it's working for all different parts. That log is going to become super smooth after a couple of years of this, can you believe it? Watch him hook the back legs over. And the ticks that he might have trapped in that mud, any body parasites will get pulled off. He'll rub them off. And of course satisfies the itch at the same time. I cannot believe I'm this close to actually seeing him doing it.
Portraits are one thing, But a chance to photograph real behavior is quite another, especially in an animal as impressive as this.
So many rhinos here. A lot of huffing and puffing going on all around me. I'm very nervous here. There's a big one coming out.
He's enormous and his horn is tremendous. Never seen anything this big before.
That's incredible. He's absolutely covered in mud. And he's enjoying the scratch so much. He's ignoring me completely, thank goodness. I dare not move anywhere. I've got rhinos all around. While they're busy scratching and enjoying themselves, I feel quite safe. I think that is just pure pleasure. That's what that grunting's all about. It's pure pleasure. I want to see if I can go a little bit closer and get some real tight shots. Going up this log.
For the first time, there's nothing between me and this armored giant. I'm out in the open.
It's really getting closer than comfort.
He's still only a matter of meters from me. If he decides to charge, he'll be on me before I've even had time to stand up.
Oh, it's a bit nerve-wracking. It looks like he's moving away. He's paying attention to another potential scratch post. I think I've pushed it as far as I'm going to today. My heart's in my mouth. Been a fantastic experience. And I've got the pictures to prove it.
Swaziland delivered everything I'd hoped, and more. Nakaya's got to be the best place in the world to see these magnificent beasts.
This assignment was great, and I got my pictures. Saw a baby rhino only a few weeks old. Got chased up a tree by a black rhino and got away with my life. Found myself in the middle of a group of grooming rhinos. This sort of adventure you can only experience in Africa.